This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details.
Hello, it's Danielle Fishel.
Ryder Strong.
And Will Friedle from Pod Meets World.
Does Friendly have a taste? If it does, it's probably like Hello's peppermint-flavored anti-plaque and whitening toothpaste.
Brush away plaque, show tartar who's boss, and remove surface stains to naturally whiten.
Hello's thoughtful and flavor-forward products make brushing your teeth feel like a confetti-filled bathroom dance party.
So say hello to Hello with the always cruelty-free, never tested on animals toothpaste that's made to spread smiles.
Visit HelloProducts.com and let Hello add some everyday yay into your life.
Come on, why is this taking so long? This thing is ancient.
Still using yesterday's tech? Upgrade to the ThinkPad X1 Carbon. Ultra-light, ultra-powerful, and built for serious productivity. With Intel Core Ultra processors, blazing speed, and AI-powered performance that keeps up with your business, not the other way around.
Whoa, this thing moves.
Stop hitting snooze on new tech. Win the tech search at Lenovo.com. Lenovo. Unlock AI experiences with the ThinkPad X1 Carbon, powered by Intel Core Ultra processors, so you can work, create, and boost productivity all on one device.
Saks Off 5th is your secret to fashion's most wanted deals at up to 70% off. On the hunt for designer steals that'll turn heads and leave a trail of envy? Uncover Gucci, Valentino, Versace, Stuart Weitzman, and more, with new arrivals dropping weekly at prices too good to stay confidential. Luxe layers, statement boots, and tailored essentials from Saks Off 5th will put your wardrobe on the most wanted list. Head to SaksOff5th.com or a Saks Off 5th store near you for a style lineup you won't want to miss.
And boom! Common man, no show prep, no solid plan. Spins a yarn, or cans a tale. The esoteric approach won't fail. Tune in, it's time for Common Man. Common man, charms the housewives like no one can. What'd you shoot? Where'd we play? Non-stop nonsense on deck today. Tune in, it's time for Common Man.
Oh boy! Why should anybody aspire to be a common man, an average man? Do you realize what it means to be average? That means you're the best of the lousiest, and the lousiest of the best. Now, if we demand more and more for producing less and less, while the have-not nations encourage and inspire and indeed require hard work and maximum effort, if we deify the common men while they encourage and reward the uncommon ones, well, the end result of such a lopsided race as that is too obvious to require elaboration.
I mean, it's like, hello?
I'm a fraud.
Yes.
We'll head to Buffalo, play on the road. I think the weather, of course, having spent a lot of time in Minnesota, I understand the weather pattern. Pick up the Calcutta Clipper, swings down, swings up, lakefront influence, and out. I think we'll probably have about 45-degree weather, so it will not be a typical October 31st in Buffalo.
The Lions are a terrible team and a terrible city. No terrible fans and a terrible stadium. A terrible uniform. A terrible cheerleader. What do you think of the Lions now? The war has not been restored. The wars that have been restored.
Kaprizov.
Cam Dantzler, what are you doing?
Boy, how disappointing is that? We can't start winning until we stop losing.
And that's ridiculous.
I'm going to say something controversial.
That's interesting.
I've seen enough out of Cousins, Paul. Put him on ice.
How about the cardiac cats?
Yeah, but
You don't know nothing. You like that? You like that?
He's the clown from Brown. He's the fourth in the North. This is the common man, Dan Cole.
Well, that first part is true, but the second one really isn't. But, those that's subject to change. All depending upon which way the wind blows. Ack, ack, a dack, and dack, dack, ack to you and yours. I'm Common East 10 to be here till 3. We're unprepared, uninformed, and unapologetic about it. That's what you'll get for the next 3 hours. Coming up at 3 o'clock until 6:30, you get poised, polished, and professional. That's Big Ticket and JG. Rosie will join us just before 2 o'clock today.
Boy.
And, tend to be, I was thinking if I had the genie's bottle and I rubbed it and the genie popped out and said, Master, you have 3 wishes. The first would be for 3 more wishes. The next would be that it's 7:15. And then I thought I'm not that excited about the game. So I would not today, this might come as a shock to you, use one of my wishes to make it 7:15 for waiting all day for Thursday night. Packers hosting Washington. But I am intrigued with the game. And Tennessee, I have a question for you right out of the gate.
Yeah.
Is it more important for Daniels or Love to have a big game? What's more important? That's what they're debating on ESPN right now. And the look on Stephen A. Smith's face and the other guy would make it seem as though they're trying to solve world peace. That they are trying to broker peace between Anwar Sadat and Menachem Begin. That's how serious they are about this.
I do have one question about that.
Yeah, what would that be?
Why does the game have to be more important for one of the quarterbacks more so than the other? Why can't they be of equal importance?
Well, I'm with you, but I'll try to explain what I think the logic is. A, they need to talk about something. They have to fill 24 hours a day, 365. The second one is I think they're thinking, well, does one quarterback have to play better because his team is going to need really brilliant play from while the other one can maybe get away with okay quarterback play? I think that's what they're trying to say.
Okay.
And if I were to answer that, I would say they're at Curly, right?
Yes.
So I would think you would probably need a little bit more out of Jaden than you would J-Love. But then again, who knows?
Is this the part of the ESPN show where I disagree with you and just yell as loud as I can for 2 minutes?
Or we don't even have to yell, but it can get divisive. But it's you know what? I mentioned this to you yesterday, what I really like about the way the schedule lays out. Do you have the Vikings schedule in front of me? Or
yes.
Can you pull it up? When do the Vikings play the Pack for the first time? I think it's not until November. Week 7, 8, 9, I think.
Week 12.
Week 12.
November 23rd.
So think about that.
At Lambeau.
So we're going to be 11 weeks into the season before we meet them. And it's sort of almost like 2 ships.
I guess technically for us it's week 11 because we have a bye. So,
but I mean, it's deep into the season.
The 12th NFL week.
Yes.
Our week 11.
My point is it's deep into the season. And so, and you can't go by... Well, I mean, you can, I guess. What I was going to say is, both teams won week 1. Green Bay looked pretty good beating Detroit. Minnesota looked pretty mediocre early and then came back and won. So, maybe both teams will be undefeated. But I think both teams will probably keep pace with each other. And I'm hoping, I would love to see, I said this earlier in the season or before the season started about, like last year, Twins, Cleveland, Kansas City, and Detroit were all really good. The 4 teams were battling it out for not only the division title, but the wild card spots. And 3 of those 4 teams made it to postseason play, including the Twins. Oh, wait, we were the ones on the outside looking in. But it was exciting because you had a really good division, or a pretty good division. And let's put it this way, a pretty even-Steven division, right? And we sort of thought that going into this year, that Detroit coming off 2 really good seasons in a row, back-to-back Kings of the North. The Vikings, 14-3 last year, made the playoffs. Green Bay, 11-6. They made postseason play. And so you looked into this season as this could be really competitive. And I like that. I would like nothing better than to Minnesota, Green Bay, did you say it was the 22nd, 27th, whatever that date
November
is?
23rd.
November 23rd, to have those 2 teams square off. Is that a Thanksgiving Day game? by any chance?
No, it's Sunday.
It is Sunday, okay.
Yeah.
To have those two teams square off with maybe a lot on the line would be pretty cool. I'd like to see that myself. Now, I know there are probably Viking fans and Packer fans who would rather the team they hate, if you're a Packer fan, you hate Vikings, that you'd rather see that team spiral out of control and have the game meaningless. I like when a lot's on the line. It makes it more entertaining for me. I like the drama when there's more involved. So, tonight, I think yesterday, you know me, I just like to throw bold and brash statements out there. I predicted Washington would win and win handily. I think they can win. I don't know if it will be handily. And then I got cornered by a sales guy today and said, who do you like tonight? And I said, I'm kind of now leaning toward Green Bay. Do you have, how about you? Do you? And not just because they're at home, I think that does play a part, but I think they're a little bit better than maybe I gave them credit for. I kept, you always, kind of refer back to, last year, what they did. And while they were 11-6, lost twice to the Vikings, twice to the Kitties, and once to Philadelphia. So you lost to some pretty good. They were beating up on the Oswald, so to speak.
Well, it's hard for me just because, unfortunately, though it was one of the games I wanted to watch. Green Bay, Detroit was a game I did not see on Sunday.
Okay.
So I haven't seen the Packers other than just seeing a couple highlights, which I don't know if you can really get a gauge of the game based off of that. So it's hard for me to know how legit Green Bay is or maybe how far Detroit has fallen. It sounds like that offensive line worries is much greater than probably most people talked about, and that it has an effect on Goff and has an effect on the running game.
Yeah.
I will say I did see a lot of Washington, New York, and Jane Daniels, this is not breaking news to anybody. He's the real deal.
Yeah, he's solid.
He is good enough to go on the road and face, even if Green Bay is an elite team, he's good enough to keep you in games against those types of teams anyway. So I would imagine it's going to be a close game.
Yeah, should be fun. Are we airing that on this radio station tonight? Do we have that as part of our program? Well, if we had a Lynx game, that might. I don't know if the Lynx have finished or not. I think they have one regular season game left.
Yep. No, it's on. We're on tonight.
Okay, we're on tonight.
Washington, Green Bay.
Very good. I'm looking forward to that. So let's do this. Let's take a break, come back, peek at the purple. Controversial Vikings news on the other side of the break and more here on the Common Man program on the Fan.
Saks Off 5th is your secret to scoring fashion's most wanted deals at up to 70% off. On the hunt for designer steals that'll turn heads and leave a trail of envy? Uncover Gucci, Valentino, Versace, Stuart Weitzman, and more top designers at prices too good to stay confidential. Dare to get caught up in luxe layers, statement boots, fall denim, and bohemian dresses from Saks Off 5th that'll put your wardrobe on the most wanted list. Men's must-haves are here too, with tailored essentials, cozy sweaters, sneakers, and designer accessories for every fall mission. With new arrivals dropping weekly at Saks Off 5th, the pursuit for the ultimate find is always on. Whether you're looking for a seasonal wardrobe refresh, shopping for a specific occasion, or just want to get inspired, Saks Off 5th is your partner in crime for the big score. Head to SaksOff5th.com or a Saks Off 5th store near you for up to 70% off every day. This is a style lineup you won't want to miss.
This is Jacob Goldstein from What's Your Problem? Business software is expensive, and when you buy software from lots of different companies, it's not only expensive, it gets confusing, slow to use, hard to integrate. Odoo solves that because all Odoo software is connected on a single affordable platform. Save money without missing out on the features you need. Odoo has no hidden costs and no limit on features or data. Odoo has over 60 apps available for any needs your business might have, all at no additional charge. Everything from websites to sales to inventory to accounting, all linked and talking to each other. Check out Odoo at odoo.com. That's odoo.com.
If you eat too many ultra-processed foods, you could be starving your gut microbes, and they'll get hangry. That's one of many things I learned after working on a new audio course about the gut microbiome. You can learn how to keep your gut happy by listening to Try This from the Washington Post. I'm Christina Quinn. I host Try This. Dig in with me on practical advice for life's common challenges. Follow Try This right now wherever you're listening. Seriously, try it.
A new NFL season means a fresh start. and fresh styles. At NFLShop.com, you'll find the latest jerseys, hats, and sideline gear to rep your team all season long. From rookies making their debut to legends, NFLShop.com has it all. Score exclusive styles you won't find anywhere else and show up ready for every kickoff and big play. Fan like a pro and shop now at NFLShop.com.
It's a show. What was that again? What was the name of the place?
For the Rubes.
Of the Rubes. For the Rubes.
Hey.
I was just going to ask not what the common man can do for you, but what can you do for the common man?
Want a chance to win a Vikings away game trip for 4? Well, this could be your year. Visit the Minnesota Lottery booth at the Vikings kickoff concert on Sunday, September 14th, before Russell Dickerson takes the stage to enter. Minnesota Lottery must be 18 or older to play.
So I walked into the radio station. What's today? Wednesday?
Today's Thursday.
So I think it was
September
Tuesday. 11th. I walked in and Little B goes, okay, time for a haircut. That's what she said to me.
Hello to you too.
Yeah. Okay, time for a haircut. I wasn't wearing my hat, and I actually thought my hair looked pretty good. I mean, it's let's face it, it's long. Are you envious and jealous of my hair? I have long, bushy hair, blah, blah, blah. And so I took her advice, and I went and got a haircut yesterday. She bullied me into it. I didn't even. I was actually planning on getting above average. What I said to her, though, at the time is I said, well, why? I don't need to have a haircut. If you're trying to be a fine, upstanding young man, I think you'll do. So I tucked up my hair up under my hat and said, imagine me working for you. Signs everywhere, signs. But I don't need to have a haircut. It doesn't really matter. Now, you can say you look, disheveled and slovenly. Yeah, okay. It's okay. I don't care. There was a time I cared so much. I think as you get older, you don't care as much about your outward appearance to other people. Do you agree with that?
Have you seen me in the last 15 years?
Yeah, well, that's true. I just don't want to, so my hair looks bad. All right, I have bad, you had a bad day, but I have a bad hair day. It'll happen, but I got it all trimmed up looking good.
You sure succumbed to peer pressure pretty quickly,
apparently.
Well,
I did.
Do you imagine, though, the double standard if you would have made a comment like that to her?
Well, I thought of that.
Right?
I said,
it's not fair.
If I walked in there and they said, boy, it looks like you might want to redo your makeup, for instance. How much trouble do you think I'd get? Well, I'd get probably...
You'd be going to HR?
I could be fired.
Yeah.
You'd be fired. I'd certainly be called out of the carpet, but that's okay. I don't mind. The old sticks and stones can break your bones, but I'll just slash your tires. Peek at the Purple, brought to you by our friends at Affordable Electric. Hey, end of the month, a lot of people are thinking about buying EVs. End of the month, that $7,500 tax credit goes away. So get to it. Be Johnny on the spot. And then when you do, you're going to need that 240-volt charger in your garage. Well, guess what? They can do that at Affordable Electric. They can take care of all of your electrical needs. Affordable-electric.com. Affordable-electric.com. And remember, Affordable Electric is... shockingly affordable. I think it was Ben. The name is Ben Mahler, right? Fox Sports Radio guy. I think he's on early mornings. I don't know if he still has the gig or not, but I think he would lead into the Power Trip Morning Show. Just saying the name of the show. Just saying the name of the show makes me laugh. And he once said, "List radio is lazy radio." And it was funny. I was talking to George at the golf course today, or at Stone Ridge, and it came up about lists, and I said, it can be lazy radio, and look at I'm the king of lazy radio, but it's what you do with that list. If you just read the list and go, top 25 quarterbacks of all time, number 1, Joe Montana, what do you think? And then you start debating it. Well, that's lazy radio. But if you take the list and if you take a nothing list and suddenly make it all seem worthwhile, it works better that way. I'm not suggesting we're about to do that now, but I do have list radio for you right now, Tennessee.
Okay.
It's your favorite NFL
Power Rankings.
Power Rankings. Who's the best? CBS Sports came out with their power rankings. Who do you think they got number one? Number one, top of the heap. Start spreading the news. Who do you think they have as number one?
I don't think it's New York.
No.
Because started singing that.
I was quoting the
My
song.
guess would be the Buffalo Bills.
No, they have them at number two, though.
Ooh.
They have Eagles defending
Go
big game
Eagles.
world champions, I guess. Yeah. They won their opener, so they figure, well, there's no reason to take the crown away from them. Then who do you think they have at number three? How about if I say it this way? And then who do you think they have?
Green Bay Packers.
They got the Packers at number three. Packer
You've gotta be
Mania
kidding
is
me.
taking over the country as far as the National Football League goes. And and it's fun. Look, if you're a Packer fan, it's fun to have, accolades being showered down upon you and being idolized and pedestalized for what's happened so far, especially after getting Micah Parsons in the trade. But you're about to be warned. They were doing the same thing about the Kitties last year. Remember the Kitties were the talk of the NFL for almost the entire season. Even with Kansas City and Buffalo and some of the other really good teams that was still, but look at Detroit, and rightly so, their offense they had the best offense in pro football. And they were winning game after game after game, and they were demolishing teams. And then look what happened. They got bounced in the first round of the playoffs. Number four. I
was going to go Washington or Baltimore.
They're 5.
Even though Baltimore lost.
They're 5 and 6.
Okay.
Ravens 5, Commanders 6. I don't think you'll guess number 4.
Chargers?
Nope. They're at number 7.
They're not going to go Vikings, are they?
Nope.
Broncos?
Nope.
Rams?
Nope. Tampa Bay.
Oh, interesting.
Do you think Tampa Bay is maybe I'm not paying as close attention to Tampa Bay football as I once did. If I ever did, I did. And I know that's a quality club. Haven't they made the playoffs like the last 4 years in a row? I think they're
quality.
Yeah, they're quality.
Baker Mayfield's quality. They escaped that game a little bit in Atlanta because it was one of those where the Falcons kicker missed as a field goal at the end to tie the game before it was overtime. So that could have been much different.
And the Buccaneers are up 2 spots. They were at 6 before. After the Bucs, it's Ravens, Commanders. Chargers come up 2 spots. They're at 7. The Chiefs fall 5 places. They're at number 8. Then the 49ers at 9. Broncos at 10. If you're waiting for the Vikings, you got to wait a while. The Motor City Kitties, even though they lost, they're still above the Vikings.
Really?
Kitties at 11, Bungles at 12, Rams at 13, and your Vikings check in at 14. And
You've got to be kidding me.
That's where they were last week. And there's still doubt out there. And if leading into this season, right, we looked at your Vegas over and unders, and then all your national media. None of them that I can recall, maybe there's 1 or 2 out there. There's always, is the word outliers or outliers? Outliers. There's always outliers out there where people will, have it. They'll be on the. They'll be that. What am I thinking of? They'll be the. I can't think of the phrase I'm looking for, but they're the guy that they're going off the board a little bit, right? They're going to go watch me, and they're picking the Vikings, but it seems that the Vikings haven't really, despite the fact that I think, at least locally, because we focus in on them more, right? Rebuilt your interior of the offensive line, rebuilt the interior of the defensive line with quality names. Now, we don't, none of us were sure how they would perform early on. There was a lot of doubt about the quarterback, and you could see why, especially after the first 3 quarters. It was awful. Then all of a sudden, after that interception, he started playing better. But it still seems like people are kind of, they're still like with their arms crossed in front of them, like, well, you got to show me more than that. And I think they do. But so I don't know if 14's right or wrong. I think a couple of those teams above them, especially
after that pick 6 on Monday night, if you would have told me it'd be 14th this week, I would have been thrilled because they look like through 2.5 quarters, they look like a bottom 5 team in the NFL.
They did. Yeah, absolutely. So that's where they are now, and whether that will change remains to be seen. Atlanta here, right?
Where's Atlanta?
Atlanta, they're at 22. They're at 22. Huh. So, and is that the what's their quarterback?
Michael Penix Jr.?
Penix. How did he play? Did you notice?
I thought he was all right.
He's okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I don't like to be the guy. Even though, I shouldn't say that. I do like overreacting, I guess. But usually I do it with tongue firmly implanted and cheek. We win. I start talking about parades. We start playing Nothing's Going to Stop Us Now. We did it on Tuesday for the montage after the one victory. But I do like the way it played out, obviously. And here's the thing, Tenneby. They're talking about what a great leader J.J. McCarthy is. I oftentimes think that leadership stuff in sports can be a little overdone. But it seems like all the guys on the teams buy into it. And they all seem to think this kid's, that speech he gave with the where else would you rather be, Jefferson said it juiced everybody up. And I tend to believe it because you saw they seemed to be reinvigorated and had a new energy about them. Now, whether that can carry on into week 2, 6, 8, who do we appreciate all the way to the end of the season remains to be seen. We'll pause. We'll come back. By the way, Peek at the Purple brought to you by our friends at Affordable Electric. For all of your electrical needs, affordable-electric.com. Tenneby, we had some, I don't know if it was bad news regarding the Wild yesterday, just that Kaprizov and his agent have rejected that offer from the Wild. Doesn't mean he's going anywhere yet. But that still seemed to be some sobering news. There's even more. On the other side of the break, I've got some controversial Wild news. Next, Common Man program on the Fan.
Saks Off 5th is your secret to scoring fashion's most wanted deals at up to 70% off. On the hunt for designer steals that'll turn heads and leave a trail of envy? Uncover Gucci, Valentino, Versace, Stuart Weitzman, and more top designers at prices too good to stay confidential. Dare to get caught up in luxe layers, statement boots, fall denim, and bohemian dresses from Saks Off 5th that'll put your wardrobe on the most wanted list. Men's must-haves are here too, with tailored essentials, cozy sweaters, sneakers, and designer accessories for every fall mission. With new arrivals dropping weekly at Saks Off 5th, the pursuit for the ultimate find is always on. Whether you're looking for a seasonal wardrobe refresh, shopping for a specific occasion, or just want to get inspired, Saks Off 5th is your partner in crime for the big score. Head to SaksOff5th.com or a Saks Off 5th store near you for up to 70% off every day. This is a style lineup you won't want to miss.
This is Jacob Goldstein from What's Your Problem? When you buy business software from lots of vendors, the costs add up and it gets complicated and confusing. Odoo solves this. It's a single company that sells a suite of enterprise apps that handles everything from accounting to inventory to sales. Odoo is all connected on a single platform in a simple and affordable way. You can save money without missing out on the features you need. Check out Odoo at odoo.com. That's odoo.com.
If you eat too many ultra-processed foods, you could be starving your gut microbes, and they'll get hangry. That's one of many things I learned after working on a new audio course about the gut microbiome. You can learn how to keep your gut happy by listening to Try This from the Washington Post. I'm Christina Quinn. I host Try This. Dig in with me on practical advice for life's common challenges. Follow Try This right now wherever you're listening. Seriously, try it.
A new NFL season means a fresh start and fresh styles. At NFLShop.com, you'll find the latest jerseys, hats, and sideline gear to rep your team all season long. From rookies making their debut to legends, NFLShop.com has it all. Score exclusive styles you won't find anywhere else and show up ready for every kickoff and big play. Fan like a pro and shop now at NFLShop.com.
Fan.
Metallica. Farm Aid 40 is coming to Minneapolis.
Feels like the first time. Feels like the very first time.
Join Willie Nelson.
When the boys of summer have gone.
Neil Young.
Dude looks like a lady.
Kenny Chesney.
Rocket Man, I think it's going to be a long, long time.
Dave Matthews.
Sugar, honey, honey.
And more. Saturday, September 20th at Huntington Bank Stadium. Celebrate 40 years of music, food, and family farming. Limited tickets are still available. Get the full details at KFAN.com. Keyword calendar.
A couple 13-14 past Common Man program. His text message came in during the break, Tenneby, during the break it looks like. It says, Tenneby was generous when he said the Vikings look like a bottom 5 team after 2.5 quarters. At that point, they were behind Ohio State in the college rankings. Hey-oh! It's a good line. I like it. Might use it in the next Flop, Sweat, and Tears tour appearance, which will be in Spicer.
Spicer?
Yeah, more on that.
Next to New London?
We're being pushed out of town. We can't find any work in town. People, I think they're on to us here. So we're going to take our act over to Spicer, London in October. More on that later. Now, first, I got to retract something. I did the big buildup on the tease. Wild learned yesterday that the contract by your guy, Kaprizov, had been rejected. And I have more bad news for the Wild. It had nothing to do with the Wild. I had my winter sports teams mixed. Well, they both start with a W. You have Wolves and Wild. This has to do with the Wild. The Wolves, not the Wild. I think you almost had a heart attack when I said it. When I said controversial bad news regarding the Wild, because you hadn't heard any. You hadn't heard the bad news because there wasn't any. I just got my teams confused. It's called early onset is what it is. But it's by the way, Tenneby, it's another list lazy radio bit.
I like it.
CBS Sports NBA uniform rankings. They're ranking the uniforms. Power ranking.
For basketball uniforms?
For basketball, yes.
Yeah, just before we begin, though.
Yeah.
Is there a worse uniform in sports than basketball uniforms, right? In terms of wearing around town,
yeah, you're right.
Hockey's the best, and I'm not just saying that because it's my sport. They just look the coolest.
Yeah.
Football can be cool. Baseball can be all right. Basketball uniforms just with the no sleeves.
Yeah, it's a bad look.
Yeah.
Especially if you're somebody's, you got hairy arms and a hairy chest and hairy armpits and they're just everywhere and it's a bad look. I'm with you. NBA uniform rankings from iconic and interesting to dull and disappointing. And guess what falls into the disappointing list? Your Minnesota Timberwolves.
Well, what uniform are we talking about? I feel like they've had 30.
Well, here's what it says. Well, the picture is Ant, and it's in the dark blue with the white lettering and the white trim.
Okay, yeah.
And he says, I viscerally dislike almost everything about these uniforms. I mean, he hates it. It's almost like, I don't know if he's had sleepless nights thinking about it, but he's bitter. Viscerally. Can you look up the word viscerally? Visceralla. I think that's with every fiber. I think it'll say hatred from with every fiber of your body. Is that what I think it'll say? What do you see? Visceral. Yeah, would be the visceral. That would be the origin. Yeah, right. Yes, you know what I'm saying.
There's two. There's characterized by or proceeding from instinct rather than intellect, or characterized by or dealing with coarse or base emotions, earthy, crude.
Yeah, he thinks it's earthy and crude. Here's what he says. They represent almost everything wrong with modern NBA design. There's no character here whatsoever. Nothing suggests that a team called the Timberwolves is wearing them. The font is as plain as it gets. The horizontal stripe is unnecessarily busy and evokes soccer uniforms. There is no actual design element here whatsoever. A word, some stripes, and empty color. Swap the colors in the words and any team could feasibly use these unis. They scream free t-shirt handed out at a corporate picnic. Far more than professional basketball uniform. I kind of like that line. I have nothing positive to say about the base uniforms. The city editions have been hit or miss, with many more successfully hearkening back to the team's past or integrating local concepts. Really, though, there's no reason this team should ever have abandoned its Kevin Garnett era look. They were flawless, distinct, on theme, and just plain cool. Basically everything the modern uniforms aren't. Thankfully, those jerseys are back in the rotation this season, and hopefully that inspires Minnesota's new ownership to rebrand with that look as the baseline. And I was talking to George. Why were George and I talking about uniforms today? We were talking about lists in sports, and we were talking about uniforms. And I guess, Denby, you know as well as I do, the number one reason professional sports teams, collegiate sports teams, really any league, any level, the reason they change their uniforms is to sell the new uniform to hardcore fans, right? That's the reason they do it. And, part of it, too, is to gussy up the look and change things up. There was a time back in the olden days, Tennessee, where 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, uniforms kind of just stayed the same. They really didn't change too terribly much. And now it's like, well, if we put out a new uniform with Ant's name on it, doesn't even have to be the colors of the Timberwolves, we will sell hundreds, even thousands of those and make more money. And the prices they charge for these things they're pretty exorbitant. They were showing, you didn't see did you say you didn't see Green Bay, Detroit? Green Bay, Detroit, they were showing the Pro Shop at Curly.
Yeah.
And they were showing the new, what's the linebacker's name they just got? Or
Micah Parsons.
Micah Parsons jerseys.
Probably flying out the shelves.
Oh, they were going for if they were showing the display, I think it said $2.99. Not $2.99, $299.
That's crazy.
For a jersey. I guess it's authentic. I don't know if it's really what an NFL player would wear, if it's exactly, but they say it's authentic. Just because it's got the guy's name on the back.
It better be authentic for $2.99.
Yeah, I would hope so. And they're just flying off the shelves. So that's
what I love about these people that spend $300 for a jersey and then that player's gone 2 years later.
That's the other thing. Well, so, obviously, as we know, Timmy, this just in, professional sports is a money-making operation, right? They just print money. And that's what they do. They print money, by TV rights, sponsorships, radio rights, tickets, concessions, parking, everything. It's a money-making machine. And then when you add swag in there, in these jerseys, I would be curious. I would bet right now, and I don't know if there's anywhere to track this, if there's a business website or anything, that the Micah Parsons Green Bay jersey is the biggest selling jersey to this point this year, and he's only been with the team a week.
Oh, I'm sure that's true, yeah.
Because people they want to have it. They got to have it. I bet McCarthy jerseys are going to be going off the
maybe
flying off the shelves.
Locally, they are.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Locally, same with Green Bay. They're I don't think everybody nationally is buying a Micah Parsons jersey, but Packer fans got to have them. So, I actually don't mind the Wolves jersey. Sometimes I like simplicity with it. I think sometimes they get carried away with them.
I think they're clean. Yeah, I don't have a problem with them, but to the point of, if you eliminated the word Wolves from the uniform and asked your average sports fan, whose uniform is this? I do think a lot of them would have a hard time because I don't think they're really not. When you have a logo and a name called Timberwolves, they're really not on brand for that other than it just says Wolves.
Yes.
And I would actually go one step further in terms of what uniforms I like for the Timberwolves. They said to go back to the Kevin Garnett era.
Yep.
Which I would rather have than this current era. They started incorporating black a little bit more and kind of like the trees. I'd go right back to the beginning. The Tyrone Corbin, Pooh Richardson, the blue and green.
Yeah,
I like those colors.
I did too. They were our colors. It was established.
Yeah.
And then you have, the New York Yankees have never changed the pinstripes, right? Ever? Have they ever?
Well, it's iconic.
Yeah, and so they've never changed their jerseys ever. And their road uniform, the grays with just New York on it, I don't think they've ever said, let's do a Houston Astros 1980s type jersey, right? Or 70s, whenever that was. Even the Twins do that. The Twins they had the powder blues. They got their city ones now, which is almost a powder blue. And it looks...
blue and yellow.
Yeah, it's blue and yellow. And it really means nothing in regards to... And I don't care. It's not like I want to go protest it. But some people just say, well, no, we really like this is the way our team has been. That's even the football teams will do that. The Vikings have their iconic purple with the white pants, but they mix it up too, and which I do like. But same with the Packers.
But even with the Vikings, I'd rather go back to the old school for the Vikings as well.
Yeah.
I mean, at least they've never really changed the logo on the helmet. That's always been true, but they always try to gussy it up because they want new people to buy new jerseys.
Yeah, exactly. And so, go to New Jersey, get a New Jersey. Get it? That was another inside joke.
I don't know if I know that one.
That was another Doug Westerman thing. There was something about, I don't even remember what it was about, but it was like, go to New Jersey, get a New Jersey. We were doing it. I don't know. It was something where we were giving away jerseys or something. It was sort of like the Vikings Uncensored at Joe Censored.
Now I get it.
And then we actually have in the promo, get it? He thought it needed to be explained to people in case that went over their head. Vikings Uncensored at Joe Censors. Get it? But that's the case. Here's a text message that just came in regarding jerseys. It said, speaking of jerseys, I just got off work, went back to my car to find my driver's side window smashed, and left inside was a
Kaprizov
jersey. Is the state of Minnesota turning on?
Kaprizov.
We want a superstar wants to win like McDavid. Connor McDavid is reportedly taking a pay cut to bulk up his team for another cup run. KK just wants the money? Hope not.
Do we know if Connor's taking a pay cut?
Well, he says, I don't know. I don't know.
And I don't know if I'd call it a pay cut with him. He's getting a raise. Maybe he's just
taking a little less.
Not taking as much as he could get, but I wouldn't call it a pay cut. I don't think he's reducing his salary.
Yeah. And I think, obviously, I believe that, and I don't think this is a stretch. I'm not the only one saying this. I still think the jury's out on it. My guess is, and you probably know this better than I do because you're paying closer attention to the National Hockey League and the Minnesota Wild much more closely than I do now or maybe ever did. But this agent for Kaprizov, he has a reputation of being a hardball guy. Yeah. You could offer him the moon, and he's going to go, that's not good enough for us. You never accept that first offer, even if they know that's going to be, even if it's a blow you away type offer. Well, you still turn it down because it's the first offer. You don't just go, oh, we'll take that. So maybe that's what's in play here. Maybe they do think he's worth more money and should get more money. Or maybe some of the speculation, you talked about it yesterday, would be maybe he just wants one of those 3, 4, 5-year deals rather than the 8, right? And that can be good or bad for the player. What can be good is if he even takes it up another notch and then gets to free agency before he's really old, he can probably even get a bigger contract. And that's maybe or the player just says, I don't want to be stuck here for 8 years if it's a terrible team in a terrible city with terrible fans in a terrible stadium, because I think they all want to win, right? Most players, especially the ones that get to the point where they are really successful individually and have helped teams play better, so they've been a good teammate as well. And they've made pretty good money or are at least guaranteed to make. He's going to make good money wherever he plays. Well, what's left then? It's kind of like, well, I've got the wine and the women. I need the song. So you got the money, you got the security, you got your individual accolades. Now I want to win a ship, right? And I get, because you and everybody else, and I believe when you guys were talking about, that's one of the big things for Kaprizov. You have to, if he believes he can win here, it's a real good chance to stay. If he thinks it's like the 10 of Fitzgerald, and it's going to be listing for most of the time he's with the club, he probably doesn't want to play here, right?
I think half the problem is I don't think we really know what he wants, right? He's not someone who talks to the media a whole lot. Obviously, there's a little bit of a language barrier. He's in Russia the entire offseason. He's not someone that's, popping up on local podcasts or hockey shows and like constantly giving interviews. Like, right. I don't think we really know what he wants. So that's why there's a lot of uncertainty around him. I think there's lots of people making assumptions. There's a lot of people assuming he wants to win, or assuming he wants to stay because he likes it in Minnesota, or assuming he wants to leave because he wants to go play in the bright lights, right? Like, I don't think anyone really knows other than Kirill and his agent and Bill Guerin.
His hairdresser.
And his hairdresser, yes. So that's, I think, part of what makes it challenging is he rarely talks publicly for us to even get a glimmer of what he's thinking.
Well, here's something. This is new. This one says the rumor is Kirill
Kaprizov
does not want to sign unless we change the name from the Wild to the Minnesota Muskies. Hold on. Because our name, logo, and colors are lame and confusing. Talking about the jerseys things, right? One. I mean, we talked about the Wolves jerseys. I was never a fan of the Christmas tree ones, the red and the green. Never liked those ever. I don't like that color combination unless it's Santa Claus and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. They've got the market cornered on those colors. I just don't. They're Christmas colors. It's good if you know how teams they'll have their. Remember the NFL did, was it called Color Rush, where they had uniforms of all the same exact color?
They still do that. Yeah.
Okay. So if the Wild right around Christmas time, leading up to it, and not as soon as the department store starts celebrating Christmas, we're going to see Christmas decorations up here in the next week or so, I'm sure, somewhere. So I don't want to get that. But maybe
I'm amazed I haven't yet.
Maybe that first week of December, the Wild go to the Christmas tree colors when it's Christmas time. Jolly old St. Nicholas, and then after that, let's get on them.
We should, because ugly Christmas sweaters has been a big thing in the last 5-10 years.
Exactly.
And hockey jerseys are called sweaters. We should just make one called Ugly Christmas Sweater, and then it would fit for our color scheme. I think it'd be a big hit.
And it would fly off the shelves.
Ugly.
For $299 with the name Kaprizov on the back. How good would that be? We're always marketing, tend to be. Well, you know what I thought? I read it, I think, in a story, I think it was in the Fish Wrap East or West. I think it might have been West. Somebody wrote, where else would you want to be? They said they should that's probably coming to a T-shirt soon.
Yeah.
It's the first thing I thought I was going to tell Lil B, and I didn't. We ought to get that on a T-shirt.
I saw someone else already did that.
Yeah, they're already doing it, see? I mean, you got to get on that one quick.
We got to be quicker.
Well, we should have been. But you know what we can still do because we have a powerful marketing. Put it this way. If you had a T-shirt that said, in the Fan Pro Shop that said, where else would you rather be? And then put the pictures, the 3 pictures of the morning show guys on it. It would fly off the shelves because everybody would want to have it because it's the Power Trip Morning Show. Oh, I should have said that. I'm just laughing too hard. Let's do this. Let's take a break. When we do, Tennessee's got a little 5-3-4 for us.
Yeah, we were talking about Kaprizov. Bill Guerin responded to that Kaprizov news yesterday. You can hear it next.
Come on, why is this taking so long? This thing is ancient.
Still using yesterday's tech? Upgrade to the ThinkPad X1 Carbon. Ultra-light, ultra-powerful, and built for serious productivity. With Intel Core Ultra processors, blazing speed, and AI-powered performance that keeps up with your business, not the other way around.
Whoa, this thing moves.
Stop hitting snooze on new tech. Win the tech search at Lenovo.com.
Lenovo.
Unlock AI experiences with the ThinkPad X1 Carbon, powered by Intel Core Ultra processors, so you can work, create, and boost productivity all on one device.
Saks Off 5th is your secret to fashion's most wanted deals at up to 70% off. On the hunt for designer steals that'll turn heads and leave a trail of envy? Uncover Gucci, Valentino, Versace, Stuart Weitzman, and more, with new arrivals dropping weekly at prices too good to stay confidential. Luxe layers, statement boots, and tailored essentials from Saks Off 5th will put your wardrobe on the most wanted list. Head to SaksOff5th.com or a Saks Off 5th store near you for a style lineup you won't want to miss.
This is Jacob Goldstein from What's Your Problem? When you buy business software from lots of vendors, the costs add up and it gets complicated and confusing. Odoo solves this. It's a single company that sells a suite of enterprise apps that handles everything from accounting to inventory to sales. Odoo is all connected on a single platform in a simple and affordable way. You can save money without missing out on the features you need. Check out Odoo at odoo.com. That's odoo.com.
If you eat too many ultra-processed foods, you could be starving your gut microbes, and they'll get hangry. That's one of many things I learned after working on a new audio course about the gut microbiome. You can learn how to keep your gut happy by listening to Try This from The Washington Post. I'm Christina Quinn. I host Try This. Dig in with me on practical advice for life's common challenges. Follow Try This right now wherever you're listening. Seriously, try it.